We're on the first day of March, and you know, for the last week we had some record heat for our time period, and today it's wet and cold outside, so I thought it's a good day to shoot videos. Well, remember this one here, this Boulevard Cypress, that 2 years ago I did some major change in style. Actually, this one here, I had a concept in my head, and then it changed completely as I got working on it. Well, like I said, it's about 2 years, so it's about time to get to the next step. Actually, probably should have done it last year. I don't know if you could see, but you notice it has a little bit of different color to this versus like this is the way it's supposed to be, but this, when the frost hits, it changes color, and then it'll change right back as we start to warm up. So the first thing I'm gonna do is to just remove these obvious ones, right? And then I'll go through the whole thing, since you've already seen me do this part before. And then after we get some of these out of here, we will get down to the styling. Let's start with this branch here. This one should be more or less flat. And you see this part here, it got tall. And I'll remove that. Now it's not so tall. See how it's gone across? And then there should be smaller cuts so that now we got this branch. There's a lot of fine tuning that I'll do later, but I just want to get these branches laid out. You see all this browning inside? As long as it's browning on the inside, it's not a problem, not a major problem. It got too dense in here like this. Remember, it was like that? Well, when you got no light going through, then it turns brown. So as long as it's brown on the inside, it's a nuisance, versus if the tips start turning brown, you got a big problem on your hands. So anyway, I want to do the same thing with this one here. I'm going to more or less flatten it out, but a little bit higher plane than the other one. So let me see here. Okay, also, time of the year, you got to adjust your pruning. Well, we just got into the first day of March, right? So I could cut this thing down to bare minimum, and it'll come right back. Versus if this was in October, November, you should not prune too heavy because it'll take months to recover. Now this is going to be, as soon as it starts warming up, it's going to recover quickly. This side here, this is the next branch. You notice that I'm not on my turntable. This one, I could still pick it up, but it's one of those kind of getting heavy for me now. 15, 20 years ago, no sweat. But now I have to be careful that I don't strain my back. So it's on this cart. That it was on a table that's about the same height, so more or less I was sliding it off rather than picking it up. And you youngsters out there probably just laughing, but wait till you get to my age. Then you start to make sure you don't strain yourself. A lot of times I could do it, and then for about 3, 4, 5 days, I'm suffering. So I've learned my lesson. Well, the thing that I fear is permanently damaging my back. Okay, now too much talking here, but this one here is very strong going up, And I think I should just cut, what the heck. Okay, so this level here, it should be distinct. So we got this one here and this one here. They should not be the same height. Instead of going up, I think I should go this way. And I see a nice branch here. So if I take this off, then it's not the same height as the other side. Also have a direction we could go to, right? Okay, now this side here, let's see about creating a branch. See, one thing about letting it grow wild for a while, it gives you a lot of options, right? Oh, no. 1, 2. Okay, now this one's going up. There's plenty of branches going sideways, so get rid of that. And then our apex up here, right? Oh, I think I'm just going to make it crowned off. When I say crowned off, it's just like creating a mini canopy style. And if you think, or if you look at mature trees, and then initially there's a point, and most of the time we kind of have a point for our apex, but as the tree matures fully, it crowns off, it rounds off at the top. So that's what I mean when I say let's crown off the top. See? Guess what? This is the front. This is the side that you could see everything. And I was working on the back side. Well, okay, so we'll get to the fine tuning looking at the front. Yeah, this one here probably should come down. I think all the branches that needed to be was in the right place. It just got a little bit bushier than necessary. See all this browning, right? That's what happens when it gets too dense. And as soon as I open it up, it should come right back. Okay, now I am flexing this, right? So that I think something happens to the cell so that it will stay put. So this principle is the same whether you're using a string or a wire. Get it flexed, flex, so that this is ready to be pulled down. Okay, one of the easiest way is to take your string like this and then just loop around like that. What happens is as you pull down, it tightens up on itself, right? So, see? So that flexing, I think, helped a little bit. You know, it's hard to tie these with the gloves on. And then, so you, well, so much for, okay. And then what you try to do is to take another branch and tie that down too. And I think over here, I'll use this one. And so try to do 2 at a time and it will tighten up on itself. See, less noticeable. And then of course you go and cut it off, so barely see it. And the chance of getting damage is very slim. Okay, now we got this branch. Now that we know for sure that this is a back branch, we'll go ahead and get started on this too. There's some big stuff in here. Wow, this is a biggie. But I wonder if I need it. Sometimes you have to do this, well, a lot of times you have to do it in stages, right? There's some big branches in there, but they're in the right place, so I'm not sure whether I should make any major decisions right now. It's all about kind of finding what's happening, and then hopefully you find the right solution. And I have plenty of oopses, but that's part of the game. What I see is too many branches right here, and these should have been cut cleaner, but probably because it was on the inside, didn't have a clear shot. But I'm thinking this one here could come off, because you got 1, 2, and 3 big ones. And if there was no small ones, I would have to reconsider. But this being a back branch, we don't want it to go back so far. Okay, that looks better. And then I don't like this one going up, so I'll take that down. Same thing with this thing here. We got plenty going sideways. And now that we got sunlight in here, the fresh foliage will replace this brown. Still got another. Okay, this is a hard angle, but I have this big one here that is big and going up, and it's still in that cluster. So I'm thinking of taking it off completely. And being a back branch, we don't want it coming this way too far. We don't mind going this way. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take that off, but I have to go get my saw for that. So what I'm doing is taking this one off. Now, I don't think we're gonna miss it. See, I just took this big one off, and then we want this branch to go this way. As I'm looking at this, I saw this one branch that I'm not sure of. It's this guy here. I got multiple branches in the same area, so I'm thinking of just taking this whole thing off and then use this as sort of the cover. So I'll go ahead, take my saw and cut that off. Okay, so as I wrap this up, let's take a look at the first side we looked at. This is actually the back. And I think we're okay now. Everything should start to green up, and the next go around we'll get it even tighter. Okay, now this is the front, and it's looking really good. It's actually should go into a bonsai pot, and I have one that I think it'll work, but I'm gonna keep it in this because, well, these big ones, I can't move it. And if it's in a ceramic pot, I cannot just spin it on the table because the legs will break off. And in these plastic containers, you could do that. Plus, it's a lot lighter too. So anyway, if somebody's interested in this one here and they make a firm commitment, then I'll put it in a bonsai pot and it's out of here. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep it like this. Okay, so this has been the Boulevard Cypress 2 years after I did a major restyle. So anyway, I'll see you again real soon in another chapter.